Hi guys. For today's Pick a Card, we're going to be discussing if you truly love yourself. Because I feel like when we choose these shitty partners, and obviously I don't mean that, I'm just being mean. But when we choose these shit partners, our exes, people we date, maybe we're still in these relationships. I don't know. I just assume these people are single who watch me. But we can't help but think when we get ourselves into these relationships where we're not being treated well, or if we're not truly happy, we can't help but think, do I love myself? Every single time, I swear. Do I love myself? That is what happens every single time. Sorry, got distracted. So every single time that something goes wrong, I feel like somebody who, not even necessarily well-rounded, because I know I do this and I definitely am working at the well-roundedness and it's hard. But I can't help but think every time, do I love myself? I must not love myself for me to be attracting these people who clearly, most definitely, unquestionably so, do not love themselves. Yet these people I tend to get myself involved with could have everybody fooled in the room. These people could literally win a fucking Golden Globe because you would never know that they are the most insecure individuals in the world. And I feel like a lot of us go through this because we get duped, we get played, we didn't see it coming. We didn't see it coming because they're so good at the role that they portray. But everybody's true colors comes out eventually, right? So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, law of attraction tells me that I'm attracting these terrible individuals because there must be something terrible about me. But then I think about empaths, and that's exactly what we do as empaths. We attract narcissistic people or people with narcissistic personality traits, which could just be a selfish person. And these people sometimes don't even realize it on a subconscious level that they are indeed selfish. The things they say and do are selfish. But yet, what is it about us that attracts those? Like, why are we attracted to those people? If we don't resonate with that, right? And if we're being open-minded and we're trying to step outside of our own situation, because it's hard to judge situations that we ourselves are in, right? And that's why I like to play like a mind game within ourselves, like to really step outside your own mind, pretend you're an outsider to your own situation, try to really assess the situation for what it is and not what we think it to be. Because I feel like sometimes we stay longer than our welcome because as empath, I feel like I keep saying it wrong, as empaths, we understand why these people that we feel connected to do the things they do, right? We, on some type of level, we know this person does what they do because blah, 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 blah. And we get that. That at the end of the day is just making an excuse for somebody's shitty behavior. Whether we understand why they do what they do, it doesn't fucking matter. What matters is us feeling good and happy and well-rounded. And I can bet your ass that you don't feel well-rounded or happy when you're with these type of individuals, because these type of individuals get us in this mind frame of questioning ourselves and our worth. And that's usually when we circle back to that self-worth. Do I love myself? I must not, because this person clearly doesn't love me, or they do, but I don't know, they don't act like they do. And I really feel like it doesn't mean that we don't love ourselves. It just means we don't respect ourselves. I think there's a huge difference, because I think back to all my relationships and connections, and I'm like, I've been doing this since I was a child, this whole death rebirth thing. It's like just who I am. And when I say that, I don't mean like deep psychological work and healing work on myself, but I'm always, after something happens in my life, I'm always trying to do better and be better, literally. And I really do like that about myself, because why wouldn't you want to be the best version of yourself? Like, I never understood that about people. People who don't understand the benefits of therapy, that don't understand the benefits of communicating or going after what it is you want. I never understood that concept. Like, how could you not want to be the best version of yourself? And the answer is because most people are scared of change, and that requires change. To me, it's like, it's nothing. It's breathing air. I'm okay with that, you know? Certain other changes, yeah. I'm human. Obviously, I wouldn't be okay. Well, not that I wouldn't be okay, but it would take some adjusting to. But transformation, death, rebirth is really hard for a lot of people. And I feel like with reflecting, with each relationship I've ever been in, every connection, I really feel like I've come to the conclusion every time I go into these connections, I really feel like I love myself. I really, really do, because I don't go from one relationship to the next. I always take a breather. I always take that break where I'm just like, I just got to do me. I just got to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, reflect, shadow work, heal. I always do this. I've never been that person that needs to get under someone to get over someone. It's just never been my style. So I think to myself, well, if that's law of attraction, if I love myself, I should be attracting people who love what I love about myself. And I've come to realize that I do, but it's so intimidating to these people, and these people may not even realize it, that it's like these people don't think they could ever live up to my expectations or be equal to who they believe me to be. They see me in my truest light. And a majority of the time, I didn't even see that about myself. And that's not to say I didn't love myself. It's just I didn't see all the potential within myself that all these individuals saw within me. And that was intimidating to these people, to the point where it would make them act out and do insecure-like actions. You know, when you cheat on someone, yes, it definitely comes from temptation. And I think depending on the natal chart, and this may sound ridiculous to some of you, but I think a lot of us are more tempted than others. I do believe that. But at the end of the day, it's like, you're not going to do it if you truly love someone. And I don't care what anyone says on that. That's just my personal belief. I've tried convincing myself, mistakes happen. But that's just society trying to get in my head, and I'm not allowing that anymore. So when somebody's insecure, they're going to do childlike things. They could stay longer with you, hoping you'll do their dirty work for them. They'll cause you pain because they actually feel pain within themselves. They may look at you and think they could never give you what it is you need, but yet at the same time, they may not actually want to let that go because they do see your worth. They may lose their own feelings of self-worth within themselves because they think so highly of you. And when I say highly of you, I'm talking about the individuals who are confident, who are secure in themselves, who actually really do love themselves, and bring that energy into a relationship and into a connection. I think about my life and these people, and I'm like, I don't understand. I never cheated on these people. I never did these insecure actions up until, I'll call myself out, up until they started shitting on me. Then I would shit back on them for sure. Overstayed my welcome in every single relationship. But it's just amazing the things we'll put ourselves into because we love these people, right? But it's like, if we loved ourselves, would we really stay with somebody who doesn't value us, respect us? And of course the answer is no. But at the same time, I think what confident people do and secure people do is, without consciously being aware, we already understand why these people are doing the things they do. We understand why they're acting out. And I'm not excusing it whatsoever. I'm not saying this is okay. It's because this is what happened, or this is because they don't understand this, or they feel this. I'm just saying, from a higher perspective, we're making an excuse, which is wrong, because we understand why they do the shits that they do. So therefore, we stay longer, and then we feel the need to help these individuals in some kind of way, which only makes it even 10 times worse, because then it really makes these people feel this much smaller. And then depending on their personality traits, they may just use and abuse you and take full advantage of that, or resent you for that. It's either one. But I feel like I've come to the conclusion that it doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. I feel like you can fall into that trap of, at the end of that relationship, you hate yourself. Yeah, you definitely like, you feel so ugly because you stayed longer and you knew when you should have left and you didn't. And then you get mad, and then you forget to forgive yourself, because during the healing process, you have to forgive that person, right? In order to give yourself peace, even if that person doesn't apologize, you got to be like, I forgive you, not for you, but for me, because it's so true. It gives you peace. But what we usually forget is to forgive ourselves. We forget to forgive ourselves because at that time we knew no better. We really did love that person. We were making excuses because we loved that person. We, in a sense, felt bad. Maybe a part of us saw a little bit of us in that person. Whatever the reason may be, it's because you're beautiful, but you're thinking of somebody else before you. So, which brings me to the question. Does it mean you don't love yourself if you love somebody more than you love yourself? Now, first off, I think those are two different loves. Self-love is totally different than actually being in love with somebody else, okay? You really can't compare the two. But when you start over giving in a relationship and you're not getting anything back, and you start recognizing that, because you really don't see it at first. And you're feeling something, but you're so in love and those endorphins are going. It's like you're feeling it, but you're not seeing it. You're not putting the dots together because you don't want to put them together. And then eventually you do. And then sometimes you still don't leave soon enough. And it's like, okay, well, there's a karmic lesson to pay for that as well on your end. Even though your heart was in the right place, you started putting the dots together and you still didn't leave. You can't just walk away from whatever that was and be like, I'm a good person, I don't deserve any of this, blah, blah, blah. No, you do in your own way because you hurt yourself. You played yourself. You know what I mean? So, does it mean that you don't love yourself if you love somebody more than you? I'm going to give you an extreme example, like super extreme. And I hope you can follow me and just use your imagination and not take me literally. Because if you take me literally, you're not my people. Okay, so here's where I need your imagination. Pretend this is life or death, okay? So if somebody said, and let's just pretend you're in this relationship, someone you fucking love, stars in the sky, moon in the air, beautiful feelings everywhere. So, and somebody said, it's either you or him. I need your souls right now. I don't know. Let's just say this is it. Would you give up your life for this person? Let's not get into details, okay? Let's just say this is the love of your life. Me, for example, I'd be like, I just want him to live the best life ever. Just remember me. I would do it. I'd be like, yeah, definitely. Because everybody loves differently. Nobody judge me. Okay. That's the type of love that turns me on. I love that love. My person better be like, I would die for you, because that's what I love. That's me. So anyway, yeah, I would die for my person. So anyway, Would your person do the same for you? Like, truthfully, like, it's these little mind games you have to play with yourself for you to really accept what's going on, where you may not accept what's going on. So pretend you're not in the same room with your significant other and somebody asks your person, whose life am I taking? Would your person do the same thing you just did, giving your life? Let's just say you said yes and you're going along with what I'm saying. Would you give up your life freely for this love of your life? Would you give your life up? Would they give their life up as well? Do you not know? Do you wonder, or do you already know? No, definitely not. They wouldn't do that. I don't know. That's my way of trying to think, is it equal? Is it balanced? Because I think back to my ex-boyfriends. I know 1000% they would have been like, fuck no. No, absolutely not. Don't tell her, because, like, it'll be a big fight. But, like, don't tell her. But no, definitely not. 1000% I don't doubt it in my mind. And I would have stayed still with these people, being like, you're such an asshole. But that speaks volumes. If, let's just say this is the truth. Okay, we're not talking hypothetical. Like, let's say this is real life and this is how these people feel. Somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to die for whatever reason. Like, let's not get too literal, okay? That's insane. If you're willing to do that, but that person wouldn't be willing to do that, and if you accept that, then you're okay with that, then okay. I think it speaks volumes, though. And that's the best way I could try to help anyone leave 10 times sooner in a relationship or a connection that doesn't serve you. I don't really watch TV anymore, but I remember years ago when I used to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Kourtney Kardashian, the Aries, and then Scott Disick, the Gemini. They were never married, but they were a couple. And you'd look at them and you'd be like, this girl is too good for this guy. She's just too fucking good. And he would do all these stupid fucking things behind her back, on camera, nonetheless. He would cheat on her. He'd go partying in the middle of the night. Meanwhile, you have this confident woman, this evolved woman, knew what she wanted in life. And yet she'd take his shit. She'd take his stupid, childish bullshit, because he was a child in a man's body. So you have the evolved woman, and then you have the unevolved man. And then he humiliated her on TV, national TV. But she still tried to make it work until obviously she realized, no, it's just not worth it. It's like, that is when something's disconnecting here. Where's the self-love? Because you're seeing it now. You're having proof, because sometimes some of us just need that proof. An evolved person and an unevolved person, it can't happen. It just can't. And there's many unevolved people out there. When you have an empath, and then you have a narcissistic person or a person with narcissistic traits, a person is always going to be looking out for themselves. Always. They will never understand a person that is confident and secure and loving and willing to give. They will just take until you cannot give anymore. Never, ever get with these type of people. Literally, people like us do not belong with people like them. Because people like us love to cheer on other secure people. We motivate these people. We love these people. We don't understand what jealousy is. We don't get that. Why would we be jealous? Oh, but jealous, let me just be clear. Hold on. Jealousy in regards to our lovers being interested in someone else, that would be totally different. I just want to be very clear. Jealousy exists there. But an insecure person could never understand a secure person. It's always going to be a competition, which is going to cause a resentment. You know what I mean? It will never be balanced. It will never be equal. And a relationship that is not balanced or equal can never make it. It just can't. There has to be a give and take, a give and take, a give and take. So I feel like if somebody just had told me that from the very beginning, before I ever dated, giving and receiving energy, if you're not getting that and you're only giving, there's your indicator that this person truly doesn't give a shit about you. Like, they really don't. They may say something about you. You may make them feel good about themselves. You may inspire them. They may be attracted to you. What are you going to do with that? Is that all you're worthy of? You may be attracted to people, because I look back at all these people I've been with, and truly, I think back and I'm like, I know I had so much to offer these people. Stability, love, a future. What was missing? And a great personality, honestly. But no, I think back and I'm like, and then I look at all of them and I'm like, oh, I see. And, and I hate to do this because here I am trying to preach about spirituality, but then digressing a bit by name calling, and I do feel bad, but it's like, let's be real here. It's like some of these people, I'm like, this is why you were acting so shitty. You saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and this it brought out all your insecurities. Because you're right, you weren't on my level. You just weren't. Not in any shape, way, or form. But a secure person doesn't look at things like that. We just see love and the beauty within these people. And that's the imbalance of it. You have to see the light and the shadow, not just the light and be aware that the shadow's there. It's like, you have to be aware of both, and can you work with this? Because I feel like with confident people, when we allow these people, not just confident, but confident empaths, there's a difference. So it's like, we see these people's shadows, right? And we just ignore it, especially when they start acting shitty, right? They start taking advantage a little bit here or there, or you notice that change, that slow but subtle change, and you're just like, you don't want to call them out on it because you don't want to believe it. You're just like, I see this change. I'm feeling this fucking change. But no, they're a good person. Don't let me down again. Please don't let me down. And then all of a sudden, you're, like for example, me on this Venus energy. Hi, I'm Libra, beautiful, beauty, love, energy, oh my gosh, aesthetics. And then it's like, finally, I'm like, okay, I'm done with this person's bullshit. I'm calling them out right now. And then they get the Mars, the Aries, they're like, ah! And it's just terrible. And people like that aren't balanced at all. So therefore, an overall balanced person will be able to see my light and my shadow, right? But somebody who's off balanced will only see my shadow and forget all about my light. I don't want that. I got beautiful light all around. And yeah, I got shadow. I got a scary fucking shadow that I wouldn't want to fuck with. But still, I got more light than this shadow. And you know what? At the end of the day, you brought out my shadow, motherfuckers. Like, really, I think back and I'm like, each and every one of you, and you guys didn't even take responsibility for it. That's what makes it even worse. It's like they all use this manipulative bullshit where they spin it back your way, use specific wording, specific tones. They think they're fucking slick, and they're not. And we know this, but we only stay in hopes, in hopes, in hopes. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But at the second point, if they're doing it again, don't waste your fucking time. 2 times out. 2 times out. Let me repeat that one more time. 2 times out. Time is the most important currency. It is more important than money. I promise you. So, with that being said, let's go into your reading, okay? All right. Okay, pile 1, if you resonate with... Wait, do I want to do a crystal? Let's do a crystal. because I love it. Look at that texture. Why am I looking at it through the camera lens? Fast forward to pile 1, pile 2. Okay. Pile 1. How can you give true love? Ew. How can you give your truest love? Your truest love. How can you give your truest love? How can you get your truest love? No, just one card. How can you give your truest love? How can you get? Because we want the giving and the receiving. I'm just kidding. It's too fucking loud here. Ridiculous. How can pile 1 I guess get a balanced, real connection? Love. The answer is love. Had you only known all along. It was just that simple. It was right under your nose the whole time. Clarifier. No. Just the one. I see her. Do 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 do. Bum, ba, da, da. Oh, inner child. Okay, so you need a playful, loving relationship. Don't we all? Oh. Sorry. The art of allowing is, I am that which I am, and I am pleased and joyful in it, and you are that which you are, and while you are different from that which I am, I can allow that, for it is also good. Okay, so no judging. I am learning to allow well-being in. Okay. Picking up on the judging energy. Inner child, playfulness, lightheartedness, innocence, wonder. Solar plexus. All right, and then we're going to read a page from He's Just Not That Into You. Because there is an amazing line, and I think all of us should be aware of it. I'm going to botch it up, but still holds true. You are never the exception. You are always the rule. And that's because when we are in these relationships, when we are in these connections where we're living off of hope that something will change, it's like, you are not the exception. You know, there are very few people in this world that you hear those stories where it's like, oh man, on again, off again, 15 years. And they married, they made it. You can't go in thinking that that's your story. You just can't. And I know that's going to sound really negative, but the truth is that really is the truth. And I say that because the only way an on again, off again connection can ever work is when two people bring in two brand new energies. If you're bringing in the same energy, the same person, where it keeps ending every time, what needs to change? Because it's obviously, you can't change your body. You are you, and that person is them. So what will make that work? The energy. That is what would work. Everyone lost money over the past 2 years. The stock market crashed and the economy has been in the toilet, and yet imagine, many have still managed to get married. If you are both in your late 30s and you've been dating for 3 years and he's not begging you to be his wife, you might want to take this stock tip. Mr. Dow Jones is just not that into you. There will never be a good time financially to get married unless you're Shaq or Ray Romano, but somehow people manage. If your man is using money as an excuse not to marry you, it's your relationship that's insecure, not his bank account. Okay, I love that so much. So I'm a slow learner. I need things explained to me in a different way. And maybe if you're watching this and you're into this, maybe you are too, or maybe explaining it in a different way to you will make this hit home differently. I don't know. Or maybe you just want extra explanation. So I always envisioned myself with children in my future. Always, even as a child. But there was this point where when I did started dating, I guess 17 or 18, I was a late bloomer. I was like, I better not have children until I'm ready. And it got to the point where I think I was 26. I started getting nervous. I was like, oh shit, like I'm not feeling that want of wanting children, but I see it in my future. Like I know I want it, but I don't want to force that either. Like I don't want to force having myself to get pregnant just so I have the kids at a decent age because I know that I want kids. But I don't have the want yet. And I started getting nervous because that lasted for close to 10 years, that feeling of like, oh shit, like I was that person where I'm like, can you shut your baby up, please? Like, oh my God. Like I was that person where I was just like annoyed by babies. And like but I kept saying, I'm like, I know I'm going to be married and like have children, but like, I don't want kids right now. And I think that part is normal, but I really was getting worried about the wanting part because I genuinely did not feel like I wanted. So my Chiron is in Cancer. Now, Chiron is the wounded warrior. I always botch that up. He's the wounded warrior who can't heal himself. It stems from childhood wounds. Now, they say that when you have Chiron in Cancer, you may grow up never wanting kids. You may not have kids of your own because of the pain you felt growing up as a child. And you may not want to put that onto your own child. Or instead, you may be over nurturing with children and want children. And when you do, you may be over nurturing. I never put two and two together that the reason I felt that way all those years was because of my childhood. I didn't want kids because on some type of, level within my mind that I wasn't aware of, I didn't want to have children if I didn't have money, because I saw that having a child, my mom having me, with us being poor or close to being poor, however you want to word it, it's like I felt like I had a really shitty childhood and it really fucked me up with certain things. And I never wanted to do that to my own future children. But really, it was because I didn't get the nurturing energy I needed, that my soul needed. It's not to take away that there was nurturing energy there. It just wasn't in the way that I needed it. And on some type of subconscious level, it made me not want children up until my late 20s. And then finally, that want came in where it was like, okay, if anything ever happens, okay, whatever. Like I want it to come in the way I want it to come in, where there's marriage and then I have children, but I finally want kids. I'm at that point. But the thing is, I was lying to myself before. So I feel like putting that into an example here is when someone tells you or gives you excuses after excuses about not getting married, it's actually just that, an excuse. And the underlying issue is they just don't want to get married. Possibly to us, whoever we're dating. I remember being told when I was engaged, finding out a few months later, that they felt, why? Hold on. What was the reason? Oh, that he was settling. He felt like he was settling and that he had to propose to me. And then his fiance before then, because, you know, he said that he felt like he proposed to her because he owed it to her. That is someone right there that either A, just hasn't found the person that they are deeply in love with, or B, they just don't want to get married. But they're trying to do what they're seeing their siblings do, and they're trying to do what they see society doing. And it's like, maybe you should just be true to yourself and see what's really going on here, that it's not us, it's you. Oh, but this is exactly that. So what I'm picking up on, this is either your person or this is you, but it's just an excuse. The "he's so terribly put upon" excuse. Dear Greg, my boyfriend is fairly rich, not Donald Trump, but he has family money, and he's a successful businessman on his own. He feels that for all his adult life, women have looked at him like a meal ticket. As soon as they've been dating for a couple of months, he says he feels the marriage vibe start happening. I'm not like that. I work. I support myself. I never take money from him. I just love him. I'm 35 and we've been dating for 3 years now, living together for 2. We never talk about it, ever. From what I've gathered about his history, he seems to always break up with women soon after they start asking him about marriage, but he must know I'm different. I know having money must be weird, so I'm trying to be understanding. Can the fear of being taken advantage of really be that strong, or should we start suspecting he might not be that into me? Dear, you're so money and you don't even know it. Wow. So now having too much money is being used as an excuse not to get married. What will you crazy kids think up next? Again, at the risk of repeating myself, you are allowed to have aspirations for your future and to know whether the relationship you're in is going to take you closer to those aspirations or be the demise of them. No amount of money in the world can buy that away from you. If you're afraid to even broach the topic of marriage for fear that he's going to break up with you, then this dude not only has all the money, but all the power as well. And, well, that just pisses me off personally, because no one should be that lucky. Don't be intimidated by his big heaps of cash or his big heaps of baggage of past relationships. Find out if Mr. Moneybags is really into you for the long haul, and don't take any of his poor little rich boy excuses. I personally think if you have to sit and figure out what's the best way to bring up the idea of marriage to someone whom you have been intimate with for a substantial amount of time, it's not good news. Most guys, or let's say the guys I want you to be dating, will make sure as soon as reasonably possible that you know they mean business. So if he's not, get to his mixed feelings and conflict as fast as you can. Then as soon as you're ready, go find someone that is spending time worrying about how you are feeling. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know like whose energy we're picking up on, if it's supposed to be yours, pile one, or if it's supposed to be your person's or someone you're interested in. You're going to have to hold that energy where you see fit, but it's just an excuse at the end of the day. Or if, let's say, it's you who has these issues with marriage, or you don't see the point, but it's like the person believes in marriage, then it's like, it can't just be shut down like that, I mean, it would have, I guess you would have to cut your losses right then and there, right? Because 2 people need to be on the same page about that. Marriage is pretty serious, so it's either you're on the same page or you're not. But either way, there could be more meaning to it. Maybe you just don't see a future with that person, or they don't see a future with you. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm sorry, what book am I looking for? Like, focus, girl. I guess it was just that book. That's okay. That's all right. It's just an excuse we give people because we don't want to hurt our own feelings. Okay. Close your eyes and feel the pure, raw energy of this creative life force. Is there any other word in our language that has so many meanings been so overused and misused, we long for it and agonize over its absence. But what does love really mean? To some people, love is about fidelity and loyalty. To some, it's about getting married. Okay, well, something about you and marriage. To some, it's about sharing, and to others, it's about obligation and what you owe to the people who love you. We use the word and conjure up the idea frequently, yet we see shallow expressions of love everywhere around us in the media and entertainment. You've drawn this card today because your angels and guides would like you to think about what love really is for you. It is very important for you to make time to contemplate love and how you can create more of it in your life. Close your eyes and get into the feeling of love, the pure raw energy of this creative force. This may seem a little abstract at first, but as you allow yourself to feel its presence and merge with its vibration, you will begin to realize something amazing. Love is not confined to human relationships or interactions between living beings. It is the fundamental force that animates and guides the entire universe. Love is in the air we breathe, the water we drink, and this earth we walk upon. Love is quite literally all around and within you. If you would like to attract a loving relationship or improve your existing partnership, you can make a beautiful beginning by going to the source of love first. You need never be short of love. Tapping into the endless flow of love that infuses every atom within and around you will provide nourishment for your soul and inspiration for your life. When you make time to contemplate love, feel the kind of love you desire and connect with universal love. You will be guided every step of the way by the greatest force ever created. So there's something about having to go within and figure out what love means to you. Playfulness, lightheartedness, innocence, wonder. I am learning to allow well-being in. Stability. The art of allowing is, I am that which I am, and I am pleased and joyful in it, and you are that which you are. And while you are different from that which I am, I can allow that, for it is also good. So non-judging, non-controlling, just allowing. Playfulness. When I think of controlling, I think of no trust. Usually that's what gets us in that energy, right? Like, look at this. Is that trust? No, that's sleeping with one eye open. Oh, wait, the light is reflecting. But it's like you just need to be free and playful. Love doesn't need to be like this job, you know? I don't really know who's hung up about the marriage thing, but I feel like it was a message. I do see you have karma with it. You see Saturn. So it doesn't mean that you're doomed. It just means you probably have karmic ties with people, things like that. And karma with love itself, with your Venus energy. It doesn't mean that if you were to get married, or maybe you are married, I don't know, but it doesn't mean you're supposed to have like a warped perception of it. It could be in regards to your childhood, to be honest. Now I'm putting it together. Maybe how you saw marriage. Maybe you have the wrong idea of it. I'll read one more page from the book, and that's it. Seriously, let's talk about the special month in your home. In that month, he had sex with someone else twice, came back and slept in the same bed with you. He was actively hiding the secret from you every time he looked into your eyes. And let's remember, this gentleman didn't confess by his own violation. Skanky the homewrecker did it for him. So if he had his way, this lovely month of dishonesty would have turned into 2 months, 3 months, forever. Do all his apologies count for something? Well, you can choose to believe he is sorry. You could choose to believe he will change. But in my book, lying, cheating, hiding is the exact opposite of the behavior of a man who's really into you. Cheating is bad. Not knowing why you cheated is even worse. If one red flag isn't enough for you, how about 2? Don't date any man who doesn't know why he does things. That is so true. I think that's like one of the number one responses I would always get when you'd have those awful conversations with those people. I don't know why I do the things that I do. I'm messed up. How old are we? Nah. The "but I've gotten fat" excuse. Dear Greg, I had been dating a guy for about 2 years, and I thought things were going really well. After he came home from a family visit, he told me he slept with someone he met at a bar. I was devastated and asked him why he did it. He told me I had put on some weight, and therefore he wasn't that attracted to me anymore. I'm confused. He's right. I have put on about 20 pounds. Should I break up with him or start going to the gym? Beth. Oh my God. Dear Beth, run. Dear 20 pounds, I definitely think you should lose 175 pounds in the form of your loser boyfriend. Not the 20 that you're talking about. He just cheated on you and called you fat. How many low self-esteem protein shakes can one person drink? Using your weight as an excuse for his cheating is not only mean, but simply not valid. If he has a problem with anything in your relationship, he's supposed to talk to you about it, not put his penis in a strange vagina about it. And by the way, how is he going to react if you ever get pregnant or grow older and get a few wrinkles or wear a color he doesn't like? Get rid of this loser or I'm going to come to your house and get rid of him for you. Ew. Pile 1, is this you or your person? So I'm feeling like there's something regarding marriage because of infidelities. Whoever's doing what, that's awful. And that's why Saturn's showing up. Somebody's meant to learn lessons through this. Going within. Something about childhood. Learning to trust. I mean, maybe it's your person. Maybe it's you and your person. If that's the case, then, you guys both just have to be willing to bring in new energies into this. It's really just as simple as that. It's the only way it's going to work. Okay. All right. There's no reason you guys can't commit to each other. All right. Oh, shit. Okay. Sending you love and light. Bye. All right. Pile 2. How can you get a balanced relationship? The giving and the receiving. Giving and receiving. Forgiveness. Okay. I forgive myself. I am forgiven. Okay. How can pile 2 a well-balanced relationship? Sorry. It makes no difference whether you want the specifics of it or not. It is the vibrational essence of the subject of your attention that is being attracted. That which you really, really want, you get, and that which you really, really do not want, you get. I get what I think about, want it or not. 22. Sorry. It makes no difference whether you want the specifics of it or not. It is the vibrational essence of the subject of your attention. Okay, so it's like what's going on the inside. Doesn't matter. Anything else? The subject of attention or not. That what you really, really want. Ooh. Oh. Tell me what you want. What you really, really want. Okay, sexuality, openness, sharing, beauty, honor. I get what I think about, want it or not. Okay, so we're going to read a page from the book He's Just Not That Into You. I was telling Pile 1 that there's this really good line from the movie. I'm going to botch up the line a little bit. It goes something like, you're never the exception, you're always the rule. And the reason I feel like this line is very important is because you never want to go into a relationship or back to a relationship based off of hope. You always, the only way those type of relationships can work is if two brand new energies are going into a connection. That's it. It's literally the only way, right? Because you're in your body, nothing's going to change that. That person's in their body, nothing's going to change that. The only thing that could possibly change is literally coming back with two brand new energies, and that's it. So you can't go back as like the same person and just like pretty much expecting a miracle. Like, I'm not saying that that doesn't happen, but it's like that's why it's the exception. It's like a needle in a haystack. They do exist, but you shouldn't be thinking that that's you. You should be being rational and realistic and thinking you are the rule. And I know it sounds negative, but it honestly is the truth. And I really do believe that you should believe that. I think it's a very, I think it's a really good line, to be honest. Dear High Times, wrong. Let's take a quick health ed class on what pot does to the brain. Smoking pot makes your brain work slower. It makes you less in tune with your surroundings and more introverted. It dulls your senses and clouds and impairs your sense of reality. So he's always stoned when he's with you. That really means he likes you more when there's less of you. You're going out with someone that doesn't enjoy... Oh, shit. It was the beginning over here. Sorry. Let's start over. At least it's not the hard stuff excuse. Dear Greg, my boyfriend is a lawyer and happens to smoke pot every night. When he does, he acts and talks just like he does when he's sober. I guess it's weird that he's always high and I'm not, but it doesn't seem to be an issue with us. My friends think it's weird that I'm dating a pothead, but it's not. Like he's really acting like a pothead. So what does it matter? I can't imagine how this has anything to do with how into me he is or not, right? Shirley. Dear High Times, wrong. Let's take a quick health ed class on what pot does to the brain. Smoking pot makes your brain work slower and makes you less in tune with your surroundings and more introverted. It dulls your senses and clouds and impairs your sense of reality. So he's always stoned when he's with you. That really means he likes you more when there's less of you. Wow. You're going out with someone that doesn't enjoy you at your full levels. That's tantamount to him liking you better when you are in the other room. This doesn't mean that he's not into you. It just means that he likes his pot better than you. By the way, if he ever got arrested for pot, he most likely would lose his license because criminals are not allowed to be officers of the court. So at least you're in good company because he likes pot better than his job too. Don't be fooled. Don't let the guy who's not falling down drunk and peeing in his pants get away with the fact that he is quietly, more gracefully bombed out of his mind every single moment he's with you. It's still an aberration. It's still checking out, and it's still not good enough for you. So, that really means he likes you more when there's less of you. You're going out with someone that doesn't enjoy you at your full levels. So obviously we won't take this literal in regards to pot. This can be alcohol. This could be anything where the person is not completely sober. And then that would be a call to action too. Why isn't this person sober? It's like, hello, anybody out there? Red flags everywhere. We just love to ignore them. We're like, red flag? I love a challenge. And then it's like, no, you don't. You don't. That's what your higher self is saying. Your higher self is like, can you just fucking start running right now? Because you're about to waste your fucking time. And we're just like, oh my God, but like, maybe not. And your higher self is like, are you done lying? And you're just like, well, I have to make a go at this because maybe it's not what we think it is. And then your higher self is like, I'm literally about to leave right now if you're going to stay. And then, you know, your intuition just went out the window because you decided not to listen to it. Dear, waiting at the altar. Wait, what? Oh, the age-old, he's just not ready excuse. Dear Greg, I've been dating a guy since I was 23. I'm 28 now. We started talking about marriage 2 years ago. Oh, I've been there. And he said he wasn't ready. So we moved in together to help him get ready. Ugh. We talked about it recently and he said that he still wasn't ready. He reminded me that we are young and we still have a lot of time and there's no need to rush. In a way, he's right. I'm only 28 and people get married much later these days. And sometimes it takes longer for guys to grow up than girls. Yes. So I want to be understanding, but I'm just not sure how long I'm supposed to wait. Does he need more time or is he just not that into marrying me? Danielle. Dear waiting at the altar. He's right. Why rush? It's only been 5 years. He's going to know you so much better after 10. And you have all the time in the world, right? You know, in case after 10 years he decides he's still not ready, I hate to tell you this, but here's why he feels rushed. He's still not sure you're the one. Yep, my lovely, I know it's hard to hear, but better to hear it now than 10 years from now. So you can stay with him and continue to audition for the part of his lucky wife, or you can go find someone who doesn't need a decade or two to realize you're the best thing that ever happened to him. I'm not ready. This is the most often used excuse in the world, but it always seems to do the trick. Women love waiting around for men to be ready. You women must enjoy it because you do it so much of the time, which is ironic to me since you're the ones with the biological clocks that are supposedly ticking away. Listen, we all know that couple who's been dating for 5 years, 8 years, and still hasn't got married. We know it never works out well for that couple. So how about you stop waiting and start looking for that guy who can't wait to love you? So, I feel like, what the hell was that? I get what I think about. Wanted or not. So it's funny, this card says, it makes no difference whether you want the specifics of it or not. It is the vibrational essence of the subject of your attention that is being attracted. That which you really, really want, you get. And that which you really, really do not want, you get. I get what I think about, want it or not. So obviously what it's saying is, positive or negative, you're going to get what you focus in on. So if you're focusing in on the so what I'm seeing here is orange, is the sacral chakra. And then this comes up here. And then I'm seeing forgiveness. And then it's pretty much talking in the book, he's just not that into excuses as to why somebody can't commit, and excuses like you shouldn't be waiting around. So I feel like it's about forgiving yourself for possibly sharing yourself to somebody who didn't share back. That's what I'm picking up on. Because for the sacral chakra to come up, which is what I'm feeling, and then forgiveness, and there's duality happening in the forgiveness card. There's the 2 angels at the top, 2 bunnies on the bottom. It's like you may have forgiven this person, but you may not have forgiven yourself. And I feel like that's what we do, and we forget, because it's like we're so caught up in trying to see the bigger picture, right? We understand why people do the shits they do, and we're like, okay, we forgive them, whatever, they're an idiot. And then we still feel this feeling of like, ugh, why did I do that? Because we didn't forgive ourselves. We take the time to think about others before ourselves. We give them something that we didn't give ourselves. That right there shows you the lack of self-respect one may have within their self. How do you give someone forgiveness on something where they clearly showed no respect for you, but yet you forgave them for this, but you didn't forgive yourself? What type of horse shit is that? When you forgive yourself and others, you create more space for light and love to flow in. The quickest and simplest way to reconnect with your greater sense of personal worth and let more love into your life is to forgive yourself completely. You don't even have to know what you are forgiving yourself for. The angels understand that feeling guilty about a whole array of things has been an ongoing part of our lives, and now they say it's time to let that go. The strange thing about guilt is that you can carry it without even realizing it, and it is often about trivial or long forgotten events. This is that energy. As you repeat the mantra below, the vibration of these beautiful words will flow through you. Forgiveness is synonymous with love, acceptance, nurturing, and spiritual maturity, because in reality, none of these energies are separate from one another. They all work together. The uplifting vibration gently and gradually dissolves all the guilt and self-blame you might have stored in your physical cells, your chakras, and your energy field or aura. Letting go of these old energies is a relief, and as this darkness disappears, it creates space for more light and love to flow in. So the more you use this mantra, the lighter and brighter you will feel, literally. Most people think that forgiveness is about forgiving someone else, but when you start with self-forgiveness, you quickly feel more lovable and find it much easier to accept others and forgive willingly when you need to. This creates space in your life for more joy and deeper personal connections. The forgiveness mantra: I forgive myself, I forgive myself, I forgive myself, I am forgiven. I think sometimes we're really, really hard on ourselves when we think back to these mistakes we feel like we've made, and we're just like, oh, why did I do this, or why did I do that? This person didn't deserve this. This person didn't deserve that. And it's like, honestly, it's just our ego at the end of the day. It really is. It's like, I don't want to say that it's like not that serious. It's just more like, you have to forgive yourself. You know, it's like, you can't get certain things back. Let me repeat that. You cannot get certain things back that you may have given. That is just an energy. It's just, it's a fact. So with knowing that and believing that, it can possibly help you understand that the only thing left to do is to forgive yourself if you feel like you disrespected yourself. It's really just as simple as that, you know? Not everyone is going to show respect in the way that you may expect it. But you have to show that respect to yourself. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. But all I can say is that we all deserve to be treated with respect. We all deserve true love. And that if you're confused about anything, don't put your energy into it. If you're confused about anything, then your energy will go there. Unfortunately, it's better to acknowledge it, because obviously it's something that's happening. You're noticing something, but it's like, it's not worth it to put your energy into, because it's literally a message within itself. It really is. It's like, we can understand why people do these things, but it's like, it doesn't matter. It's not good enough. If it's not making you happy, that's enough within itself. It doesn't matter. And I would go as far as to say that, do you think these people are thinking the way that maybe you are about it? I'm going to say probably not. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to say no. So it's really not worth it. When you don't think somebody cares about you the way that you care about you, leave. Oh my God. Leave. Don't you love yourself? I hope so. Please don't get confused by the things people I want to say this right. Hold on. It's so cliche, but just go off of people's actions. There you go. Go off of people's actions. Don't excuse anything for anyone. Let them excuse themselves. Let them do that for themselves. Everybody is an adult. It's really just as simple as that. It's just as straightforward as that. And I would also encourage you to look at your past history and think back to all the times you made excuses for these other people. How did it work out for you? It never works out good. It never works out good when you have to make excuses for people. And it's like, I know it's so like straightforward, but sometimes we really just need to hear it again, because we really could understand why these people do the things they do, and it makes more sense, and maybe it releases some of that pain that they've caused, but it still doesn't make the situation any better. It still doesn't make them less shitty of a person. They're still pretty shitty. And they know it. They're not that dumb. They acknowledge the shit. And they're selfish enough to acknowledge it and not do anything about it. So I hope that helps in some kind of way. I hope that resonates with you. And don't take shit. This life you're living, it's once. Why do you want to be shitted on? You don't. So don't. Okay. Sending you love and light. Bye.